The consequences that followed were actually quite really severe because those were the blood and lives of other people who were actually impacted by it. And to see that it was all done simply just to try to teach a person about respect or even God himself, or all that crazy ass shit. And instead to whatever those rich people tried to those insane people within the Navy or the government are into. And in the process, I got to really witness those people give in into some of the most catastrophic effect, that fall on regular people, or people just minding their own business. And it's to see that I have those insane white people from those religious group or religious belief even follow me into hotel rooms just so they could see me fall or whatever. That is just disgusting. Just the other day, I had a white German woman knocking on my door, and just even listening to her, or just So overall, those people, they're mentally ill. They need to see real help as soon as possible, because that is insane to even see that a government body can influence others and then use the cover of social media to insane individuals tied to government money that they throw into certain programs to maintain a certain cover, and they waste it on this operation for 2 full years, and then in the process start to literally get real serious consequences involved into this. And in the process, it's tough for me because I've already been through the humiliation, just to know that your entire shit has been leaked online and all that garbage. And then you have other situations that involve me being homeless, so it's kind of tough to even be able to draw certain emotions and be able to have the luxury to even feel for other people. All while I'm going up against individuals who naturally hate me, so it's there's no point in even arguing with those people and just ignore them, but at least reach out to the right channels so that they could coordinate to actually get this thing to stop from the system itself, which is the main source of most of the problems, simply because it is tied to the system and the group involved into continuously obtaining my information in real time and leaking it. So if not for them and their amplification effect, this thing probably would have been a Cinderella story and not a fucking a horror show where I have to witness certain individuals destroy other individuals and their livelihood and their well-being. And overall, like I said, I was already on my way to even disconnect from certain things about society. I wasn't not even looking to return to the some of the cities, simply because of what I was learning. And in my case, all I have to do in America is just ensure that I keep my records and I renew certain documents to make sure that nobody steal my identity and many other things. So that's why I put a lock on my credit record before I even left, just to make sure that nobody can even steal my information and be able to abuse it. So that's the route that the U.S. Navy decided to take out of all the other routes, simply because of the malicious intent tied behind the punishment because of my race and what they felt was just a lazy ass Negro who didn't want to work and wanted to exploit the system, when in reality this Negro right here was actually a very legitimate customer of the VA. And that's been one of the reasons why I know them, and I decided to just make the bet on myself. So overall, from what I've done for the past 2 years, action speaks. And in my case, I've done nothing but being a Negro on vacation. Results of destroying the lives of other people or even affecting them are zero. If not for the intent of the U.S. Navy and their evil, corruptive, employees, and their false intent related to justice and many other things, the lives taken or disrupted around me would not have even had happened. Those are people who just when I invest into a certain company, if they have stocks in there or they know people, they coordinate with them to try to make it crash. So like I said, they didn't really give me, they didn't even give me a curse. That's actually a gift. That's actually power. And the worst outcome of all of this is not letting that exploit, that that system that they put around you, not get to your head, because the minute they made the system glitch, that alone is a form of power that if you can understand how it works, that you can actually exploit it towards your best advantages. And the only reason why I haven't done that yet is because I have no intent to actually do anything except being on vacation. So even like getting into the work on my prototype, and like deciding like which part I'll use, even finding out the calculation for like certain things in terms of like how the machine operates, or even the function to like properly time certain things, to certain events to happen, especially at a fast pace. Those are all like things that require a certain level of attention and concentration to write certain blocks of scripts and like many other things, and have it operate in a certain manner. So, I'm not limited, because I'm going to like an emotional stage in life. I just that I have a lot of work in front of me, and I'm trying to enjoy life, being free as much as possible before I get to like handle my workload or whatever. So, not making money is an option for me, and as if I didn't have that luxury, I'll be making all sorts of money as fast as I can make it. But that's just at the mercy of my own will to put my own effort into my work and be able to make that money. So in my case, I just decided to lay back simply because of the system that is being abused, and that I knew that from the beginning, that going up against the system itself and the way it manipulates people, that I would not be able to win, especially when I have my back turned, and that they're just slandering my name all across, and just like using all sorts of different dirty tactics to ensure that I can't even return to certain places and get the assistance that I need to actually block them off. So again, this is not a Cinderella story. This is actually a dark and X-rated story. A story about a nigga on vacation. One that was an electrician decided to go on vacation to the work while I was on vacation. And in the process, the government hops on, the KKK affiliated, tied to the far right movement, like others tied to the far left. And in the process, they created a mess for me. Where like, everything's going fine. I'm on vacation. I worry about nothing. Until boom, the U.S. government shows itself and decides to exploit a population to, dopamines or whatever, or emotions. And in the process, what followed was nothing more than a catastrophic event tied to the disruption of the lives of many other individuals, including animals. And there's nothing fun about watching, people getting woken up in the middle of the night by a bike or a car, or different groups kind of like honking and like cranking the engines in the neighborhood every 3 to 5 minutes, disrupting the lives of these individuals and inflicting the psychological trauma that they try to inflict on me onto this population, all while claiming that it's just a trend and relax, it's just a joke, bro. Why you have to be mad, or like what's up with your attitude, kiki. And that's why I said I don't feel any type of emotions for these people. I don't feel sorry for them, because they didn't feel sorry for me when they did this shit to those people. They didn't feel sorry for me when they tried to silently kill me like I was a dog, like euthanize me. They didn't feel sorry for me when they were like recording me in every hotel rooms and sending my information back into the hands of like wealthy individuals tied to Fox News and like any other groups. And they didn't feel sorry for me when they were putting my name out purposely into the streets and into the name of individuals who were gang affiliated, or really even prison generals. And in the process, like they didn't have an ounce of remorse into their action. Like they were dead set on trying to kill the individual, and they didn't feel sorry for me when they took my records, like history and whatever, and they leaked it into like individuals that I work with. They didn't feel sorry for me when they even tried to target my family, or even gave my information out so that any other enemy of the United States can target them. They didn't feel sorry for me then, or none of it. And it's ironic that I have to make the call, or like even make the claim for people I'm not even related to, simply because of how out of control this situation is, where like other people are actually being hurt purposely by those groups tied to the U.S. Naval Base San Diego. And it's absolutely amazing to even see that people are claiming justice, or want to like God to win, actually destroying other innocent people in the process, or even getting them shot. And at the same time, that's why I said, like, this shit is just like, it's just fucking crazy to even see that they even chose this route. I'm not surprised because of the people involved, of either their ignorance or like their ego. They don't give a fuck about this place. Like, they don't give a fuck about the people. They don't give a fuck about justice. They don't give a fuck about like any morals or anything like that. All they care about is just their feelings. And it just happened that simply because they were connected to a certain group tied to the Navy SEALs and like different individuals that operate within the naval network within San Diego, that they obtained some sort of support and created a trend from it, trying to just make fun of the individual, and in the process, again, kicks and giggles, a prank going on. That's all I could say. So these law enforcement individual had to, they had every route to take, and instead they chose the prank. and then they tried to push the blame on me or whatever, So it's just pretty crazy to even see that the individuals who pulled a prank from the U.S. Navy, tried to sweep it under the rug or whatever. But I'm not in my case, because everything that they've done was just like so fucked up. And overall, it's just been. I went from a vacation, just minding my own business, to like now witnessing people being tortured right in front of me, and I can't even, it disgusts me to even say that it's the U.S. Navy that did it, when it's really the U.S. Navy that did it. And that's what disgusts me, is because those individuals, they're supposed to, once I quit, that was it. I quit. Instead, they just decided to focus on me for like 2 full years, and just be jealous of the fact that I don't really have to work, and that I was going off to like start off my own business, and that they were stuck in some position voluntarily as white individuals. And and the shit show that followed is exactly what it is, a shit show. And that's more the main reason why I came and hop on into the right-wing bandwagon, simply because of the fact of the individuals tied to it. Like, even their money is that some of these people are not the brightest in terms of common sense or whatever. It's like you put a sanction on the nation that's is tied to your land, and there's no real geographical obstacle to prevent them from even reaching your border. You put a sanction on their nation, and now they figured out, hey, what can we do to feed those people in our nation, or even to sustain them? If we can't obtain money to build our project or sustain our environment, well, boof, here you go. Let my people go. And now you have a migrant crisis on your hand. Now you have a problem in the Middle East, because you decided to interfere with their process. And what were the odds that the main energy hub of I'll say maybe 75% of the world is that connected to the middle, and and that middle just happened to be in the middle of a spiritual battle that is inside to their religious belief and many other things, and they're split in between the spirit and the main body. So it's amazing to even see that that type of fight is happening within humanity, where you literally have individuals tied to so much power in terms of the well of, I wouldn't say well of life, but the well of energy within the world. And out of nowhere, because of the beliefs and many other things tied to different cults and history and different things, that they end up splitting in half, and trying to fight one another. Or even if one nation obtain a nuke, it becomes a disaster because now the other state has to worry about its survival and losing its power. And it's all that shit that is also funny to even see that Americans even claim that it should be America first when America is so much involved into the business, the world, the affairs of the white mafia empire that is tied to the Anglos. And they all make those pacts, those deals to obtain extra money, extra researches or whatever, and they push the edge to obtain the advantage of civilization, space stations, space advancements, and to see that Israel, like any other states, become very important simply because of those strategies that they pick in the 1960s to be able to expand and make their tycoon empire or whatever is all tied to religious beliefs and and major plots within the world plot that are tied to the nuclear arms race. At this rate, it's impossible to even there's many other things I'm not saying, but once you learn them and you realize what they are, that you learn that America, its destiny and like many other things, and I don't even want to go into it, but overall, it's absolutely ridiculous to even see that money and resources from the Navy were wasted on hurting the well-being of the very same people in which they claim to want to protect. And simply because of this new trend on this new generation, they hop along with no common sense. The people, the supervisors, the older people, my generation and the older one, thought it was a good idea to jump on the trend and avoid all logical corners that makes this operation effective and make it a sloppy one. Well, in order to simply try to obtain the support to publicly hang me in America in the 21st century, call me a traitor for voting for Biden. That those individuals they will do everything in their power to disrupt society, and prove that they are right in the process and that God is on their side or whatever. And it's pretty crazy because you get to see the errors, the mistakes, the sloppiness, and how nightmarish that it is to even employ such tactics and methods, and it's the lives of other people who are disrupted in the process. So it's just disgusting to even witness this thing and just think that somebody back home is cheering for it. And back home, if you did this in their neighborhood, they actually filed so many complaints to the president, or they'll be crying. And that's the thing that kills me is those people will be crying. So they know what they're doing is so vile, but they don't care simply because they're not out here. If they were there and that was their neighborhoods this thing was being done too, they'll flip the shit. Some of them just seeing a black person or a migrant or whatever, they flip their shit. So overall, white people in America, disgusting. I'm not too impressed with this shit. No matter what they try to pull or whatever they try to do in God's name, it doesn't reach me. That shit long, I'm continents away from wherever that punch was pulled, and I can't even think about it anymore. It's not even on my mind, and I just don't care about it. It doesn't exist. So I'm just way outside of their reach in terms of whatever they were trying to pull, and for whatever purpose. And overall, like I said, I don't even want to give a statement into so many of the shit that the law enforcement agency that was involved into this investigation, whichever one they pulled after the initial one, because like I said, anything else that they were pulling after that was just garbage, which shit that don't even hold any water. So I know all of that. Even the NGOs they put on me for human trafficking, even the disability people they started putting on me, all that garbage to try to find a way to punish me simply because somebody didn't like the fact that a free civilian that used to be an electrician on naval base, goes off to a club in Tijuana that's monitored and coordinating with, to certain informants or whatever that's operating within the city to obtain information and prepare for battle within that region or whatever, and specific plots that are tied to some operations that runs through the border So like just to see that somebody like from the system itself disagree with the way I live my life or whatever, which I broke no rules, and that they could get away, and they no that's the shit that killed me, is that I did everything right in terms of avoiding those people, and yet still because of their religious affiliation and the way they carry themselves with certain political views and like their beliefs into like some of the dark arts like race wars or whatever, that somehow I get caught up into a fucking mess that is so fucked up that I get to witness like other people get killed in the process, and it's just like, so how is that even legal to like even be able to like do so much fucked upness to like other people in such a ruthless fashion, and that nobody's being held accountable, and it's just like, fuck that guy, but at the same time they're fucking other people in the process. So it's like, you tell those people like based off like what they were pulling, what they are like in real life, and how disgusting they are with I can't even call those people men or whatever. Like that is like that is such a disgusting move that it's like, damn, like if I was indeed a rapist, a fraud, or even like a murderer, like it's phenomenal that I'm the one who's complaining on behalf of those people out there who have their lives disrupted, or the animal that's crying in pain. That shows that in the end I'm still a better human being than those people, and that they're the real shitbags, and they were trying to hide something that is tied to their corruption, and that somehow like the devil, his tongue is always his strongest weapon, so that somehow they corrupted the public to follow a trend for them, out of fun and relax. So it's just a prank, bro. Ashton Kutcher. In the process, that prank actually got out of control. Well, like I said, even if I was like a murderer, a rapist, or like a fraud, like somehow I still I'm the one who ended up delaying or preventing more World War III, or like even nuclear fallout, simply because of the corrupted element that was tied to the cyber division, tied to the Navy SEAL that operate within the region for certain operations, and like certain agents that operate in certain missions, and like whoever it was that actually give that go, like was tied behind it, like whatever trend they decide to follow or whatever, like I don't even feel bad for them. I just like you should have known better. I wouldn't even, like if I was in his shoes, like I wouldn't even have done that. You should have known better, but you had the intent, the malicious intent, to try to see the individuals punished in the worst way, and then being hanged publicly by the American people by calling him a traitor simply because of his political beliefs. In the process, what follows because of your emotions was absolutely nightmare for the target you were going after, and in terms of like seeing other people get hurt in the process, while he ignores all of the accusation and many other things being brought up by the far right tied to that naval base. It's like, overall, I get to watch the murder people just for fun, and claim that he's doing it for a good cause simply because of the malicious intent that they had to purposely create a psychological reaction towards the public to obtain a support for the punishment that they wanted to go for around the law. That's the funny part, is that they actually done all of this simply to go around the law, because lawfully there is nothing on my record or nothing that I've done that actually falls within the court case, within a court case that will actually put me away, which is why they told me to disappear and disappear from the city and get rid of my communication, is because they can't really reach me lawfully, but at the same time they feel disgusted because of the personal things that I do on my private time. So now they feel disgusted, so they can't really do certain things legally, so now they have to resort to certain means and methods to actually get rid of me. And that's why they would keep on telling me to disappear and go off and live somewhere, that any other, and try to employ non-lawful bodies to conduct their operation illegally, and also try to kill me in those hotels rooms to the euthanization process and like many other things, or even try to drive me insane so I could fall into asylum. So all these are just clues being laid out in advance that tells you that the group involved, everything they're doing is not legal, and that they have no foothold in a regular court. So this shows you why you have certain things in place and why certain things happen in a certain way. And in the end result, as I've stated, everything I predicted would have happened actually happened. It was as catastrophic as I predicted it would be. I had no empathy for what those people did, because like I said, they were doing it for kicks and giggles, and they had no remorse for any of my family member or any other groups, even the public. And I'm not taking any responsibility for them, especially when they're grown ass adults, which is even more disgusting.